I did get a curtain, first ever thrift haul and the next makeover. Consider this project finished. Let's get back to the list. Hi and welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a great start into the new year. I'll be honest, my January definitely started on a bit of a quieter note, which was duly needed after seeing so many friends and family over the holidays. Like, I do enjoy seeing everyone during this time of the year, but at the same time I also very much like being at home. So this slower start into the new year was definitely needed. I did take this time to also plan the projects that I want to tackle during the next few months. There are definitely a few challenges in there, but I also very much look forward to all of them, but I'm going to share more about that throughout this video. What better way to start the new year than with a quick reset video? I actually wrote down a list of things that I want to tackle in this video. Some of them are things that I thought I would get done by the end of last year, but somehow they just never happened. Other things are more so in preparation for the upcoming projects. I actually only have 5 things on this list, so I do think that this should be fairly doable, but I guess we'll have to get started and see. As you can see, we are back in our entryway. To be honest, I did debate leaving the curtain front door thing until I was going to get started on filming the next entryway video, which you are probably going to see by the end of January, maybe beginning of February, depending on how things progress. But yeah, the curtain. This year, winter decided to actually be winter for once. Where I live, usually winter is pretty mild and it's mostly rain, which I think is kind of depressing. I do very much prefer winter to be winter, with snow and cold, crisp days, but most of the enjoyment of having snow and cold temperatures also kind of like is relied to your home being cozy and warm when you get back, which our entryway definitely is not. I did get a curtain. I got this from IKEA, and I don't know if it's going to be our forever curtain, but I do feel like the color works pretty well in here. This is definitely the best option I could find on the short term. So this curtain was in our price range, the height was sufficient, the color kind of matches, so all things considered, I am quite happy with this find. So without further ado, I guess I'm just going to get started. For this video, I'm just going to do the rough structure. I guess the more aesthetic stuff I'm going to leave for the third entryway makeover video. In other words, in this video, we are only going to do the functional part. So yeah, let's get started. This was the moment where I realized that I probably did not have enough curtain rollers for both of the curtains, so I decided to try whether maybe one curtain would be enough to cover the whole door. I kind of knew it wouldn't be, and sure enough, it wasn't. However, my experiment was not completely futile. I did find out that putting too many rollers on your curtain makes it somewhat stiff when moving it around the curtain rail, and so I decided to thin out the rollers on my first curtain, which ultimately also meant that I now had enough rollers for the second curtain. So, win-win. So as you can see, the curtain is up. I actually do very much like the color of it. Like, does it look better without a curtain? Yes. Is it warmer with the curtain? Also yes. In this case, I definitely take functionality over aesthetics. So yeah, do I still need to shorten this curtain? Yes. Do I need to iron it? Also yes. We are definitely not finished with this project yet. Again, from a functional point of view, this is fine. From an aesthetic point of view, I definitely want to do something about it. But like I said in the beginning, we are probably going to tackle that in the next entryway makeover video. So I'm for now going to check this item off. We have a curtain. It's not quite as aesthetic as I would want it to be, but it's a start. So I guess we can now check this off our list. Check. So we are currently on our way to relatives to go pick up the sconces and also a wardrobe. They do not want them anymore, and so they asked us if we wanted them. And honestly, we are not going to say no to something we can get for free, especially if it is as gorgeous as these sconces and the wardrobe are. I'm going to show them to you later. Now, the one thing is we do need to disassemble everything ourselves. So we are actually on our way to go dismount the sconces and also disassemble the wardrobe. We are probably going to pick up the wardrobe another day because I don't think it's going to fit into our car. But yeah, see you there. Since we were already in the area, we decided to also visit 2 of the nearby thrift stores. Okay, so we are back home. So welcome to my first ever thrift haul. Honestly, it's probably quite a dumb thing to be excited about, but here I am. Now, I did specifically go to these thrift stores looking for very specific things, and those specific things are books, art for the hallway, and anything else that could potentially be used as sort of decorations. So the first thrift store we went to, I got this gorgeous vase. It's, I think, more of a picture, but I think I'm going to use it as a vase for potentially live flowers or dried flowers. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely like the flowers on there and also the colors. Then at the same store I also got this book, which is a book about decorative plants in China. I really liked the illustrations in there. This time around though, it's not going to be a book. I'm going to cut anything out. I'll just keep the book as is. Also, there was this card print in there. It's actually a flyer for an exhibition. I thought that maybe I could do something with this too. Then the second thrift store I went to, I got this picture. It looks like a painting, but after inspecting it a bit closer, it definitely is no painting. Like, the strokes of the image are all vertical, so I do think it's more of a print that has like probably the glue thing for texture. I mean, I only paid €7, so I'm not mad about that, and it's a really gorgeous image nonetheless. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. At the same thrift store, I also got some more books. This one is one that contains plants that can be used for medicine. And then I also got these 2 books. This one is about, I think it's a philosophy book, supposedly about philosophy around the world, but I did buy it more as a decoration. And then this one is a book about cultures around the world. It's more so about, I think, indigenous cultures, which I think is pretty interesting. And then I do want to show you a few other things. I also thrifted those. I got them off Vinted. The first thing I got are these two picture frames. They kind of like have art again of flowers. And then finally I got these two candle holders. I also have a place for these, but that placement has something to do with the next point of our list. So before we continue, I'm gonna go get the list. This time around with a backing so you can't see my address. We did go pick up the sconces and parts of the wardrobe. I took all of the doors of the wardrobe, the drawers, and also like the inside shelving, but like the frame is still at our relative's place. My boyfriend is probably going to go pick it up at the end of the week with his dad, but I don't know if I'm going to include that in this video yet, so we'll see. So I think I'm just going to make like a, not going to cross it out completely, maybe just one, so to indicate that we did half of it. And that leads us to the next point on my list, which is actually the shelving above the TV. Now, as you can see, at the point of me filming this, we actually have already hung the shelving above the TV. I actually did that already quite a few days ago, right after the holidays. So I think I'm just going to insert the clip now where we actually hang them, and then I'll see you back here for the decorating part. Now for decorating the top shelf, I'll definitely need a stool. Okay, so this is definitely not going to be the final setup, but it is the for now setup. I do not have that much more to decorate with. I actually have one object that I definitely want to put here, but I do not own one yet. My sister has one, so I may include a picture here. And that is a clock that is made out of stone. It's like a couple, and it's the husband who kind of makes them. They actually in general sell stones, and sometimes they make those gorgeous clocks out of stone. I have been eyeing one for the past few months. They are not cheap, generally between like 100 and 200 euros, but I think that's like a piece I would very much like to invest in. Also, I think I may put like a few more fake plants. I would kind of like to have something here that like hangs down, and also probably a few more books, but I'll have to source them first and find ones that I actually like, so I guess that's going to take some more time as well. Until then, I'm going to consider this project finished, which now leaves us with 2.5 projects done, 2 more to go. So, as you can see, a package arrived, and this package is actually directly linked to next week's video and the next makeover I'm going to tackle. And said makeover is actually our bedroom makeover. Our bedroom is actually in a very sorry state, if I say so myself. We have some wardrobe space, but it's definitely not enough. A lot of our clothing is still in boxes and also in suitcases, which is something I would like to change this year. Also, our bedroom was very much not cozy. I'm not going to show you yet, but you are going to see what I mean in next week's video. So over the next few weeks I'm going to simultaneously work on the entryway and on the bedroom, but like the next video you are going to see is going to be the first episode in the bedroom makeover series. I think it's not that long until my boyfriend gets back, so I think I may wait for him to get back, and then the living room curtains may be what I'm going to tackle next. So let's get back to the list. So I have good news and bad news. The good news is that we do not have to drill any more holes into the wall because the wall mount pieces for the curtain rods are still attached to the wall. They have just been painted over, but the screws are still there. So in theory we can just simply attach the curtain rods to the wall. The bad news is, while we still have these pieces that hold the curtain rod, we have those, but like there's one piece missing, and that is the piece that attaches these pieces onto the wall mount piece. What I should mention is that the curtain rods that we have, they kind of like came with the house. The people living here previously took them off the wall, but they have been hung here previously. I'm not 100% sure yet how to solve this. We actually could just get new ones, which is what I initially wanted to do. However, the curtain rod that we have is metal, and like all the ones that I can find in our local hardware store are either wood or plastic. Also, our curtain rod has like a thickness of 3 centimeters, and all the curtain rod holding pieces, I don't know what you call them, all of those are 2.5 centimeters. So I would need to order new ones. This is a bit of a bummer because like since the wall mount pieces are still on the wall, it could have been so easy. In other words, the curtains in the living room will remain unchecked until I can find a solution for our problem. Oh, there is actually some more good news. It's actually 2 days later from the last clip that you saw, and in the meantime my boyfriend and his dad went to go pick up the wardrobe. It's still in pieces, so we are going to probably build that next week. So in truth, we finally did go pick up the sconces and the wardrobe, so I can fully check that off. Okay, which then leaves us with one more thing that we actually can do, and that is the last item of this list: take down the Christmas decorations. taking down all of the Christmas decorations, I did decide to leave up some of the things that are more so wintry and only take down the stuff that screams Christmas, because winter is still here for another 2 months and I kind of feel like it's a bit sad if there's like no decorations at all. So I'm going to leave up the paper star in our front window as well as some of the fairy lights, because like I very much like it that we can put on the fairy lights in the evening and make it way cozier. So I'm definitely going to leave up some of those. I'm actually mostly done in the living room now, except for the Christmas tree, but I'm going to address that in a second. First I'm going to quickly wrap this up and then afterwards we can move on to the dining room. It's January, however I have decided to leave the Christmas tree up for at least another week. The thing is, if our Christmas tree was a fake one, I would probably already take it down now. However, since it is a real one, it still looks really beautiful. So while all the other Christmas decorations are going, I'll give our Christmas tree another few days. So yeah, that's that. We are nearly finished. To be honest, it's always kind of sad to take out the Christmas decorations because it looks so empty without them somehow. Now I'm going to check off taking down the Christmas decorations. I still have to take most of it downstairs, but other than that, I actually am finished with this. I mean, apart from the Christmas tree, of course. I'm going to take that down, as I said, in a few days, but off camera probably. There's actually one more thing I want to mention before I end this video. As I said, January, February are probably mostly going to be like the rest of the entryway and the bedroom. Then come spring, I would like to kind of like move partially outside. I would very much like to tackle like the outdoor patio, the covered area outside of our kitchen, and then also the kitchen and parts of the garden. I mean, the kitchen is probably the project that on one hand is the one I'm most excited about for when it's finished, but at the same time it's also the project that scares me the most. We will probably do the kitchen like in phases. I don't know yet exactly what that is going to look like, but I do still have 2 more months to figure that out. So yeah, that's like roughly what we are going to do, I think, the first half of this year. That's actually already it for this week's video. Honestly, it kind of felt right to me to start off the year with a bit of a slower video. I hope you are as excited as me for all the upcoming projects this year. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel to not miss out on any videos. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!